Hi, dear students, dear friends. Welcome to Gallant IAS, and this is our history answer writing series. Writing an above average answer, decent answer to your questions. Probably this will be helpful for those guys, those aspirants who have no idea of answer writing, or who are struggling to write an above average answers, a decent answer. Now here in this examination, the challenge is, you know that in the mains you have merit papers like essay paper is there, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. Now coming to GS1, see the real challenge is GS1, broadly speaking, it has history, geography, society. In GS paper, it's a paper of 250 marks. Every GS paper is of 250 marks. So the real challenge is 20 questions are there, 10 marker questions will be there, 15 marker questions will be there. For 10 marker questions, you have to write 150 words, that is mostly 2 pages, 2 pages. For 250 words, you have to write 3 pages. So 10 marker questions are there, 15 marker questions are there, 3 hours are there, 250 marks in total. So the real challenge is you have to write very decent answers or above average answers to all these 20 questions in 3 hours time. If your plan is like you will write very good answers, extraordinary answers to 5 questions or 10 questions, and rest of the questions you will answer, or maybe you will write some below average answers, that strategy will not save you. Many are thinking like this: some questions I will answer extraordinarily, some questions I will just answer. That strategy will not work. Here, if you really wish to score 100 plus in your GS papers, 120, 125, whatever, it's very important that you should write decent answers, above average decent answers to all questions, not just 10 questions or 15 questions. Try to attempt all 20 questions with decent answers. Now in this session, this series will continue. We will discuss about the presentation, structuring, content, lots of things. Now here there is a question where I will give you an idea. If such a question comes, what kind of the content you have to bring into your answer. This is a question, you see, the question is, Britain colonized third world countries like India. Today third world country is a derogatory term, okay, but see, in the historical perspective, Britain colonized the third world countries like India through not only depending, so it is history, it is talking about the history, okay, it's talking about history, historical event or a historical incident. Britain colonized third world countries like India through not only depending on its strength but also capitalizing over those countries' weaknesses. Analyze the statement. It's a 15 marker question. 250 words is the word limit. You have to write something 3 pages. Okay, this answer you will furnish in 3 pages. Now what the question demanding? British East India Company or Britain colonized third world countries in Asia and Africa, not only depending on its strengths, not only depending on its political or commercial or military strength, but also capitalizing over those countries' weaknesses. Okay, to answer this question, you should have an idea. You should have an idea what were the weaknesses of those third world countries. The weaknesses of the colonies of Britain. Then you should address in the answer how this Britain capitalized those weaknesses of such colonies or such countries in Asia and Africa. Also in the answer you should say what all were the strength of this Britain. Okay, simply what all were the strength of or what all those strong features of Britain eventually helped Britain to establish its colonial power over Asia and Africa. Now coming to the answer, yes, you should have an intro. You can define what exactly that third world countries. Okay, just to give a one line. See, introduction has to be very precise. Introduction, you just define those key terms in the question. If necessary, give some important statistical informations, some facts, or maybe what all If necessary, you can give these codes or maybe some reports, etc., index, etc. If it is required by that particular question, especially in GS2, GS3, etc. Here in history, straight away, just to define what exactly that term third world countries, or what essentially helped this Britain to colonize those third world countries. Okay. Now coming to this is an idea I am giving you. Okay, third world countries or those nations which is not part of this NATO alignment, not part of this Eastern Communist bloc. Okay, you see that this is something which developed between that end of this World War II and this during that Cold War. So you can see that the world is divided into two blocks. One is Western bloc, one is Eastern bloc. Western bloc dominated by capitalist nations and Eastern bloc dominated by these communist nations under Soviet Union. So there are some nations in Asian Africa, neither they sided with the West nor with this East. Non-element nations are there. Okay. So here just to define it, just to define the key terms. Okay. Now you can just give that timeline also. Okay. This particular concept continued from where to where. Okay. Just to mention it. Now, poor socio-economic conditions of the third world countries made it easier to the imperial powers to colonize them. This is something, a key idea or one of the main answer key you are giving, not answer key, what I say, one of the key words you are giving in the intro itself. Okay, so that the examiner is getting an impression that, yeah, yes, you have a holistic idea or you have something like a good grip over that particular topic or that particular event. Okay, just to make your introduction very precise. It is not necessary that every answer must have introduction. If your answer has an introduction, make sure it is just 10 to 15% of your total word limit only. In 2 or 3 lines you can give the introduction. And coming to this body part, now here let me tell you, I'm just giving you an idea what all the content you have to bring into this answer. In the upcoming series, we will structure an answer. I will give you an idea how to structure an answer in history GS. Okay, similar way, our other mentors will be giving answer writing strategies or answer writing examples in the respective areas. Now coming to this body content, your body, you see, body has to be, if the question is having 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions or 2 parts, 3 parts, whatever, in the body, try to address each part of the answer in a balanced way. You maintain that equilibrium. It should not be like that you are writing too much content about the first part of the body, first part of the answer, first part of the question. Then in small words, in little words, you are explaining the second, third parts. It should not be like that. Okay, maybe the question is having 2 parts or 3 parts. Give equal weightage to each part of that particular answer. Okay. Now here, first you explain what are the weaknesses of the so-called third world countries. Okay, economic vulnerability, warfare among these, or maybe these constant rivalries or war among these states. Can be it is they are asking like third world countries like India. So you can take the context of India. Okay, the rivalries among these princely states or the provinces. Illiteracy, lack of knowledge about imperialism, colonialism, no idea what exactly imperialism, colonialism, or how it affect that mother country's economy, society, culture, no idea. Lack of literacy, lack of knowledge, then lack of technological advancement, then social inequalities and this existence of this class system, caste system, etc. Over depends on religion, then this lack of nationalism. These are the so-called weaknesses of the third world countries in those times. Okay, third world countries in these third world weaknesses of the third world countries in the 19th to 20th centuries. Okay, just to focus on that, some ideas I given you. So just like you give body, you give the titles and subtitles. Okay, give the title and give the semi points, sub points there. Okay, you can illustrate your body part with the sufficient examples, and of course you can use that thematic representation also, using the maps or using the diagrams, using the flowcharts. It is not compulsion, not compulsory. Either you can go for this bullet point format, or you can use for that short paragraph wise answering. Even this body part can be illustrated with these maps, diagrams, etc. Now, how Britain capitalized the weaknesses of these third world countries? One is, of course, that is by Whiteman's burden theory. So here, Whiteman's Barron theory, you know that. What is that? Yeah, that Britain say we are enlightened nation, we are scientifically progressed, literally progressed, socio-cultural, economically progressed, and we are in Asia and Africa to civilize those nations. Okay, so Whiteman's Barron theory, mercantile, by promoting their mercantile interest, by promoting mercantile interest, yeah, they will treat the colonies as the supplier of raw materials and buyer of these British products. Now again, they used policies like divide and rule, carrot and stick policy. In Indian context, you can mention the example of partition of Bengal, promoting rivalry between princely states and various religious communities using their diplomatic skills. Then they promoted downward filtration theory and used superior arms to suppress these revolts. So just try to bring in different dimensions of or how they suppressed, how they used these capitalized the weaknesses of these colonies or these third world countries in Asia and Africa. So different dimensional approach you should have, politically, economically, socially, or culturally, how they capitalized these weaknesses. Okay, that you mentioned along with the examples. You should have good examples also. When you say points, examples also you should have. Don't go for detailed explanation to each point. Now here, strength of Britain. What all the strength of Britain which further helped them to do this process more easier. Okay, superior military and navy forces of Britain. Then this industrial revolution, industrial revolution or colonization that further generated this wealth. Okay, then there is a easy flow of this wealth to mother nation. Then this nationalism, political unity, effective national leadership like Cornwallis or those like Warren Hastings, etc. So there are many such strengths of, military strength, ideological strength, superior leadership, or maybe the support by this mother government, or maybe the banking system, free and friendly banking system. So many elements are there which helped this Britain to, yes, easily monopolize, manipulate these colonial nations, okay, or colonies. Sorry, colonies. Now Britain used their strength to capitalize weaknesses of third world countries to colonize and plunder the wealth from these Asian, African third world countries. Thereby they strengthened mother nation's GDP, mother nation's economy, society and everything. So this is something I'm just giving you an idea. In the conclusion, in this context you can conclude with the overall significance, overall implications of that colonization. Okay, that is also, or dynamically you can conclude that. Okay, what is the current scenario? So what I say here, my purpose is very simple, like what all the content you have to bring into this answer. In the introduction has to be very precise, and coming to the body part, use titles and subtitles. Okay, again, what all the question, if the question is having 2 parts, 3 parts, whatever, you address these different parts of the questions with equal weightage. Try to bring in illustrations of answer, or try to bring in examples, evidences, use maps or diagrams if necessary, and if you are okay with that. Then again, coming to the conclusion, make your conclusion an open-ended conclusion in history. And also I would say that this kind of the static questions you can simply conclude with the significances or its overall implications. Okay, that's it. We will be solving more questions not only in GS history but also in history optional. So essentially, answer writing for the beginners, I would say answer writing cannot be developed in a day or two. Okay, answer writing, even though you have no good command over language, vocabulary, grammar, nothing, but doesn't matter. Even if you are weak in grammar, language, vocabulary, no problems, because I have seen people, they started like that only, but after continuous practices of 6 months or 1 year, they improved and they started writing decent answers and they cleared this examination. Okay, so that is why I'm telling you, this self-determination, that confidence matters. You just keep on writing. Initially nothing will come to your mind. When you sit for answer writing, nothing will come to your mind, but you just cultivate that habit of brainstorming, mind mapping, or thinking about the outline of an answer. What must be intro, what must be body, what must be conclusion. Try to push yourself, you try to answer yourself. Okay, and get the feedback from your mentors. When you continuously do this, automatically you will improve in your answer writing. I have seen it. Okay, so don't worry, for all the beginners, freshers, Answer writing, it's I would say, yeah, it demands lots of patience. It demands lots of confidence, demands lots of that continuity or consistency. Okay, just focus on writing every day. Doesn't matter even if your answer is not up to the mark or it is a disaster. Doesn't matter, everybody started from there only. So just keep on writing and get your answers evaluated by the mentors or your faculty, and try to implement those feedbacks into your future answers. Okay, that's it. All the best. Thank you.